here. Of course, it was you know, the no ribbon again, Mazel. I'm sorry. Just no chance that one was gonna
Yeah,
get through.
it's not gonna happen.
No,
We do have some
so
changes though, at least in the Lucian ban coming earlier this time around, but the Vi ban specifically, Conviction on the red side, they're gonna have that counter pick. I want to see them utilize it well. This is also something Estral burned in that second game, in the second ban phase at least, or first ban phase rather, keeping it open for themselves to first pick it here in game number 4.
it was the last 2 games, in fact. They wanted to
Yeah.
ensure that Perryy wouldn't be able to first pick that one. So we'll see now. You got to imagine it's within their expectations and what they may want to try and pull out.
We do wonder. It's a 1-2 punch here. Again, like we say all the time. We'll see what they want to end up grabbing for themselves. Set up for some carries here. The Ivern's going to come through for Perryy.
Fair. I mean, you see the sedge. You already know there's going to be some all-in. Ivern really good at creating space for carries, as you mentioned. So good setup. Maybe a double marksman sort of situation here for side of Conviction.
See if they want to go with something. I mean, the Tristana has already been taken away. We do still have a lot of ADCs on the table. It can be good. And I would love to see Viper on another marksman.
Oh,
and get that one going as well. The Jinx comes through. That is a cold classic for Cody Sun. So we'll see if he goes through with it.
Yeah, it has been locked in. So this is, again, newly buffed Jinx. Extra 20 points of range on the Q at all ranks. That does mean your trade patterns feel a little bit nicer in and out of lane. And yeah, Ivern sets it up really well.
See if there's going to be a little bit of a defensive response from Estral, because they have been the team that's not necessarily going for the all-in early compositions. They have been willing to take those kind of team fight-centric comps. It didn't work for them in game number 1, but we'll see if they want to go with something along those lines for game number 4 here. We'll see the Ezreal as well as that Sylas locked in for them. So a lot of utility out of that mid-jungle duo right now.
Oh, is that locked? Oh my
God. It is locked. The Aurelia does come through.
Fair. I mean, it makes sense. You're playing it into the Sylas. As soon as you get that passive stack, you're going to win the auto battle. Undeniably so. So, I mean, it's a very, you know, the pick Viper is very experienced on as well. And it's going to lend itself pretty nicely to the Ivern.
Yeah, I can see it. And especially kind of combating that mid-jungle duo if it is going to go in Viper's hands as well. Still some flexibility there. But in the second phase, we do get the Bard ban. So trying to deny Estral from the utility that the Bard would bring and stopping the engage that they have.
Yeah, and it makes sense too, because when you have champions like Jinx or even a way Irelia, when there isn't a wave, you're really susceptible to that tempered fate. So it makes sense you want to get rid of that and also ensure that you can have a pretty good bot lane matchup. I don't know if we're going to see Stunt play something like the Thresh that we know he is partial to. It could be a pretty good angle just to kind of put your all into Cody Sun on the Jinx. I think, but that is something, an option you could consider.
All right, well, we're getting to the end of the second phase of bans. Could be the final game, final bans for Conviction unless they can pull out all the stops. See what they want to lock down here. If it's going to be continued focus on Winsome's champ pool as well. It is, as the Alistar is the final ban.
Oh, I do like that one, just because that it's usually a champ that doesn't really make it to this late in a series, but it would be a really good way to keep Estral in these team fights longer. So now, just about whether or not they know or want to get rid of the Thresh that Stunt could be looking for.
Now, there's been a lot of fighting in this series. Every game has just had a ridiculous amount of action earlier on. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a feeling that this one might be a little bit more reserved. And see a little bit more scaling aspects coming through from both sides of things, as the final ban is going to be the Leona. So we'll have that combo ban of that and the Poppy from Estral.
Yeah, you got to imagine. Going to be support pick up there for Stunt, just to give TFBlade the counter pick there on R5, because like we know the Irelia is going mid. We don't really have to pretend like it's a flex pick or anything. And I do like the Braum, even though it is a good ult for Sylas to steal, you kind of soak up a bit of that poke, soak up the engage, and of course use that Glacial Fissure to absorb some of the dive that Estral are looking for.
Definitely can. Get that Cassante that's been hovered a couple times in this series ends up coming through. I think it's a very powerful answer. Also still combos very well with the Sejuani. You're going to have those double melee solo laners alongside of SolidSnake. They will lock it in. This is a bruiser-heavy comp coming out from Estral.
And this is honestly, I don't think he'll play it. He's played it in the past, but this actually is a pretty juicy Seraphine game. When you have a lot of melees,
you really want to see the Seraphine, huh?
I mean, Braum can eat the ultimate with the E, but still, I think like the sustain with the W is really good. Yeah, I actually think it's quite good here. I think it's quite good here because the important thing, okay, it's actually really based. It's actually really based because the important thing too with Conviction's comp, when you have recent champions like the Jinx, the immediate question has to be, okay, what is your time to kill? And champions that, you know, can sustain themselves and their team like Seraphine really increase that time to kill and limit the value of passives like Jinx get excited.
It's going to be like pulling teeth trying to kill this Estral team, right? Like, it is going to be so impossibly difficult in these 5-on-5s to really pick through this. And Conviction, they'll go with another comfort, at least for TFBlade. The Aatrox is going to be there. So we're going with heavy-hitting solo laners. We'll see how that works out against this very sustain-heavy team comp from Estral.
Yeah, there is going to be a point here for Estral where it's going to be so hard to kill them. Once you get, because what I think has become popular with this recent patch is WMAX Seraphine, because without getting into the particulars, the heal is real good every time. And when you get the double passive heal, it's really strong. And the fact that you have these bruisers who can kind of sustain themselves, Sylas as the Kingslayer, when you're all out with Cassante, you can kind of heal already. And of course, as long as the Braum Unbreakable is down, when they're jumping on them, just shoot the Seraphine ult through them, and it extends itself when it hits your allies. It's just cinema. I don't know.
All right, Beatdown.
All right, talk to me.
The draft went away before the full timer was over.
Okay.
But before it went away, Viper was playing the Aatrox, and TFBlade was
hit that Blade of the Rune King or Trinity Force, whichever you go first, a little ahead of the curve. You really need to use that advantage to push your lead forward because, I mean, as Jinx, yeah, those buffs are nice, but you're really still just waiting for those big crucial power spikes.
Oh, we're getting a little level 1 action going here as Conviction have made a play on top side, and it is true, Viper will be on the Aatrox, TFBlade on his Aurelia.
I mean, that ends up working out fine too, because the lane should be fine, and I guess TFBlade does have that opportunity either to lane with Stunt in the bottom lane if they want to put Cody Sun top or do an interesting rotation, or either way, TFBlade should be able to find an advantage kind of wherever you put him. Oh, it's the IRL swap, so it's still Aurelia mid. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
The IRL swap.
If Cody is not careful, he's gonna get solo boloed like immediately. So I like it.
Definitely needs to be a little bit careful in that matchup. SolidSnake in a little bit of help here to try to catch up to some of the clear speed that Perry is going to have on the Ivern. We get into the thick of things now. Gotta say, shout out to Cody. Has the Faker Sylas skin on.
Very cool.
Give a huge shout out to Faker.
Of course.
Makes my dreams hurt for the LPL anyways. But we will see a little bit of an invade setup from Perry. So he's saying that I can go for this quick invade and still get back over and swoop up all my camps, but also be a bit of a detriment to SolidSnake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Ivern, with the smite, is so good at taking away camps. Oh,
he's going for the gank.
That's actually pretty huge. I like it.
That is so based.
If it works.
They're also bringing down TFBlade.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think Estral have bitten onto the bait here. I think they were stepped up.
They don't know.
They don't know. They have no idea, but it's a little bit of a late follow through from Stunt. They gotta try to get this kill. They find Ghost in the end. No, he gets away for a second. Gets the final auto attack from Perry. TFBlade takes a shot from the turret, but can't get Winsome, so it's a little bit sloppy, but First Blood still goes through for Conviction.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it goes through. Ghost has TP, so mitigates it a little bit, but he still blew his flash. And Perry's still going to be able to pick up those trapped camps that he has and smite one of them away. So really doesn't slow down his clear by very much. And at the end of it, Conviction, they don't lose very much for this play as well. As long as that mid lane gank doesn't go through, they got this.
A little bit of a topsy-turvy bot lane play. The Ghost still ends up going down to the final auto attack of Perry.
That scared me.
It was very close. It was very close.
Mid lane, I guess. Oh yeah, TFBlade flash. So the gank was kind of successful. Oh,
They're
hold on.
gonna go for the re-engage though. Speaking of, it's successful, but for Conviction,
Oh my
TFBlade is running rampant now. Beats of Warfare completed for Conviction, and you have a giant lead for TFBlade's Aurelia.
That's right, 2-0 Aurelia. An assist on the Jinx on the bot side. These early minutes are all coming up Conviction, Mazel, and this is the very stops we said they needed to pull out if they were going to be able to take us to a game 5 with their tournament lives on the line, with their year on the line.
That red side buff coming in clutch right now for Conviction. They're going to feel really good, but they've got to pilot this one to fruition. They've got to keep pressing the tempo with TFBlade, and he already has the Vampire Scepter, so he'll be able to have, yeah, guess that's just full build here. He's good to go.
Yeah. Good man, there you go.
Going to be perfectly fine there, as Viper has also chosen the pole here, so he'll be stacking up for himself.
Yep.
But for Estral, gotta say, their comp is still scary. Gotta give that to them. And the sustain will definitely be there as time goes on, but they gotta buy themselves time now, and that might come through the objectives. There's about 30 seconds for that next dragon. That might be an early focus for Conviction now that they've gotten a bit of a lead.
Especially if they're able to stack dragons and kind of create a position where Estral have to run into them first when they're at objectives. I think that's a position they really want to be in, to try and play like slow, have the advantage, and try to whittle people down to get against that first kill. So that's that most important thing really with this comp. Getting Cody Sun resetting. If the Seraphine makes it so he can't, then Conviction will win.
Oh, I think Estral feeling really good about the Silas Sejuani synergies and the fact that Perryy is not very strong early on, but TFBlade is strong, so that's who you really got to be careful of. Cody feeling like he wants to go in the permafrost stack, get some extra damage onto TFBlade, but you can see some of that bite that Estral have with this combo.
Yeah, that's right. It's only going to get harder for Estral.
Winsome's trying to make a roam again.
At the end of it, Stunt, all he has is the Winter's Bite. He's going to have to walk away. So, I will say, TFBlade, I think it's really exciting to see him on this Aurelia this game, especially as a player who, this is his first year of actual competitive play.
Yeah.
He was the kind of biggest question mark when we first saw him join the league, when he played for Near Airport. But he really impressed from day one, and I think he's just been a consistent bright spot on both teams he's been on this past year. It's really been fun to watch.
Yeah, and you know, if you're talking about Estral's kind of push in the summer split to make a change, make a difference, get this roster coming through, Conviction did the same, right?
Yeah.
With a bunch of streamers and you know, old heads of the league itself, and trying to make it work, right? These guys have said that they're committed to the streaming aspect of it, but they are still competitors in their hearts, and they're going to need to find that competition now, as they do have this small lead, but it will end up being Viper pushed out of his lane by Summit.
Still, didn't get hit by the Q3. The big reason why he is still alive and able to walk away. Right now, though, bot lane going really nicely for Ghost and Winsome. I mean, understandably, double range, able to poke down. It's just what's important is that Cody Sun is able to farm away, cash out on the call, and not fall too far behind. And so far, he's doing that.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
The check. Oh, we're back to the check marks.
Oh my God, you're right.
All right, easy.
Yes, easy to say. for
but that's what we're doing, so you know.
That's true. We're talking. You're right. Yeah.
Technically correct is the best kind of correct.
Oh,
oh, the combo coming through from Winsome too. He isn't able to get the kill fully, but now Cody has full control of that mid lane. TFBlade does still have TP, so he can come back if he needs to, and he looks like he's going to take the reset now. We have Grubs in less than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think he's TPing. Go for that swap. You can see Cody Sun and Stunt are here, allowing Jinx to collect on this wave, which works out really nicely. Stunt doing his best to make sure that wave can go in. So now, Dragon could be an option here for Estral. I think objectives in general, they do them kind of slowly. So they have to be careful about when they actually take those.
So Buckle laying out as actually the grubs look like they might just get started up by Estral. SolidSnake has hit that level 6 mark now as they were able to get a little bit of pressure there. Gonna move down now. He has the Glacial Prison. He can go all in. He's going straight on the Stunt, who's gonna have to flash out. The Glacial Fissure coming through, stolen by Cody, and the damage from Ghost over top of it all. All of a sudden, that lead ain't looking that far ahead for Conviction, and Estral make a team play again.
Yeah, you do kind of mitigate the numbers disadvantage with Daisy, but still, the fact that Ghost was able to TP to this one makes this play just so risky from the beginning. So they end up losing a member. At least you can see TFBlade is able to push a wave in, I think get a turret blade. So it really doesn't do much to the gold lead, but with all 3 grubs going down easily, Estral, if they find themselves in a position where they can get a lot of people on a turret, that could be first brick very quickly.
Let me see Perryy start up the dragon here. It is under full.
Oh, that was scary.
It is under full vision here. As he does find that out, he's going to go for the control ward. Don't see any real movement from Estral over here, so that should just be the first dragon going over to Conviction. The trade was that tempo play that we did see before.
And
it is going to be a top lane play coming out from Estral now. SolidSnake trying to make a strike onto Viper. See if he's got bangs or if he is toothless. Because he will end up getting a little bit of a sidestep onto Estral's gank, and that won't be much. Stunt comes over. He's in some trouble himself. You got to remember, Summit's very strong here, but there's the Mega Death Rocket from across the map. Summit still waiting for the all-out, potentially coming through, but not going to go for the knockback onto Stunt and just take his exit.
And at the end of it, cost a flash, but well absorbed by Conviction and Viper. Able to not die on that play. He did lose out on a lot of that wave. At the end of it, it's a dragon for essentially nothing. Now Viper, you can see the health advantage he has as well. Happy to try and take advantage of these trades. So overall, Conviction, small lead, but you know, it's what they wanted. They just need to keep it going. Because the problem is the margin for error is still pretty small. Estral's comp, if they catch up or if you fall behind, it'll be really hard.
It will, absolutely. As big first item buys, though, more in particular, the biggest spotlight of them all is that Blade the Ruined King completed for TFBlade. He is
really full
an absolute unit now. We'll see if he can make use of it here, but I think those first item spikes are going to be super important to kind of keep track of as they're going to be coming across for Estral as well. We still have a long while to the next objective, and again, I go back to the statement. I do think we're going to get a little bit more reserved, objective-based gameplay in this game number 4 when everything is on the line.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, and I think to add to with those first item breakpoints is also how strong they are. And Blade of the Ruined King, huge for Irelia. Redemption. Like, I don't think I can overstate how strong of an item it is, even with the nerf. Still very valuable. Perryy able to find a lot of value with that. So now they look like they want to try and use it. Moving towards top side.
Maybe in some trouble while SolidSnake finds the engage on bot side. Viper getting low, going down. No, the auto attack is in the.
Oh, he's dead! He's dead!
SolidSnake takes the extra shot. Viper gets the outplay and the solo bolo onto the jungler of Estral.
Wow, really nice. And now we have a response.
Conviction have said we are not going to go quietly into the night. They make counterplay after counterplay, and then the top side they take down Summit.
And this is just a very successful sequence here from Conviction. They get several plates. They win on 2 fronts. And Cody Sun able to farm relatively safely while it's all going down. You could not ask for a better play.
And he's going to take all the gold up here as well. All the plates you could ask for this TFBlade Aurelia. And there's not going to be much of a response for Estral here as we go through it.
And you can see Perryy using the Daisy just delay the move there from Winsome. Now Perryy, who's 2 levels up, is going to walk away from SolidSnake. Not a whole lot to be done there as TFBlade,
that's a lot of gold.
Oh, that's so much gold. Like,
that's
surely
like
he's going to back and buy a whole item.
Yeah, that was actually insane. They also claimed the feats of strength off of that one. So they'll have the updated boots as well. If TFBlade even needs those, we'll see what he completes on his back here. And it will be the completion of the treads with the recurve bow on top of it. But here come those first item spikes as well. Love to see Conviction's response here. in game number 4 and potentially their last game of the season if they don't win here. And we're seeing vintage conviction that we saw on the run in that playoffs.
That's right. Better late than never here. We need to keep this up if we want to go to a game 5. Right now, Cody.
I'll try to find him. He's very tanky though. He does have a lot of sustain. Still not on his first item yet though. Maybe that's what they want to take advantage of. Gotta remember, Winsome is here with the Encore. Can still pop it. Gonna go for it. There's the Vanguard's Edge used by Cody though. Unfortunately, they don't land the Encore on top of it. So won't get much value out of that combo. It will be a back initiated by Conviction though.
Yeah, so they get a lot of resources out. Still a good block there from Estral to ensure that yet another dive does not go the way of Conviction. Now, we're getting pretty close to the next Drake coming through here. It's about 40 seconds away. I think the thing to note is that Perryy won't have Daisy right as it spawns, so there's an angle there for Estral to try and force that objective.
I think Daisy, okay, we're just going to get the full in on this top lane play as Viper going in on the Summit. Summit needs to be very careful. Doesn't have nearly the resistances he would want to have in that kind of fight. The Mega Death Rocket dodged out of. Unfortunately, can't catch Cassante. That will end up being the ult burn there. We also do have the setup in the mid lane looking like it's going to be in favor of Estral. Actually, they're going to move Winsome down bot side to counter this.
TFBlade doesn't have flash. He's in trouble.
Oh,
never mind.
Full side step. Okay. Okay, TFBlade. Let's see what you got here. It's a classic pick for him, but I think in a 1v3, I don't know if it's going to work out. It's a 2v3 now. We're starting to get added numbers coming through. Cody Sun is coming over here as well. And TFBlade goes on a literal rampage here. Stunt comes through and steps up big for Conviction.
And TFBlade again, just proving to be this immovable wall for the side of Conviction. The 1v2 gets turned around as Stunt joins, and it's going to be the second Dragon for Conviction as well.
And you had said it earlier in the broadcast, but this was the biggest question mark coming into the year when we were looking at near airport and wondering, where did they find TFBlade? Who is this guy who's rising through the solo queue ladder, who's finding so many despicable plays there? And here he is in all his triumph, a clutch pick of a comfort for him, and loving seeing Conviction pull out everything they have in the bag.
It's looking like it's working so far. 4K gold lead here at 15 minutes. And we know the stat, Mazel, 90% win rate when ahead at 15 minutes. So we'll see if Conviction can stick to that one. They have a lot of late game tools to be working with. While this game has been going well for them so far, the thing to be thinking about going forward again is Cody Sun. Is he going to be able to hit that second item on time? Are Conviction going to be able to get him resets so they could really utilize that passive? Because the longer this game goes on, the more important that is.
Yeah, exactly that. And we'll see how the time ticks down here as Estral going for the Rift Herald play here for themselves. Will be answered to by Conviction, so I don't think they'll get it for free. That turret in the side lane is also going to go down, and TFBlade has TP. He's going to TP to fight. Winsome's already losing his health bar. Here comes the might of Conviction. He's late, but I don't think it's going to matter. It gets the triple CC chain, and that's a flawless duet if I've ever seen it. TFBlade comes in, slams the hammer with a double kill as well, going to Viper, and they completely take the play that Estral wanted and turn it on its head. Ghost is going to go down to Cody Sun, and it seems like we're going to Silver Scrapes beat.
That's right. 17 minutes, 7K gold, and a double kill for the Jinx, who was already farming just fine this game. Conviction are checking off all the boxes. Conviction are back to play some League of Legends after these last two travesty of games. It's not over yet, but they are well on their way.
They are indeed. A almost 4,000 gold lead individually for TFBlade over his counterpart now. 2 items in, the Rift Herald in his pocket as well. That lead is going to continue to balloon. And at this point, we're seeing if Conviction can contest with that 24:06 minute loss that they just had.
Yeah, and I will say, not the most valuable encore there from Winsome. You need to hit 4 targets, but at the end of it, Viper is full health with that World Ender resetting. No one is looking at Cody Sun, and now Summit has to run away alongside Ghost. It's just not the fight you're looking for as a Estral.
And the body blocking there as well. Can't get the missed shots through. Ghost needs to be very careful. Does not have the flash. Does not have really anything as the charge isn't going to come through in the end. SolidSnake going to get pulled back. And a flank coming out from Summit. But Summit, you're not tanky enough for that. He's going to use all out. He's going to bring Viper to the edge of the earth, and they're going to take him down. Shutdown goes to Ghost, and they will end up getting the defense of the mid-tier too.
Yeah, that's a big shutdown too. Quite a lot of gold picked up there for the Cassante. So now it is going to give some breathing room and allow Cody to have finished pushing that wave onto the top side. Not much else to be gained from it. Still, anything to get some gold back into your pockets for Estral is a very good thing.
Absolutely is. Any kind of difference you can make, any, honestly, time you can buy yourself, because we've talked so much about how this scaling is still going to be a factor if the clock keeps ticking for Estral. A team that is one step away from getting to that double elim could be faltering to one of the classic picks for Conviction, and I'm glad to see Conviction going back to their ways. That's one of the biggest things that we had talked so much about in those NACL playoffs, is they were winning in their style. They weren't trying to submit to the meta, to the style that we've seen so many teams like Luminosity find advantages on. They're winning on their picks, and TFBlade is dominating on his pick.
Yeah, Ghost, that's the world champion or not, that's the life of a marksman. And oh, hey.
Perry's got to be a little careful. Insta cleanse the Captain Jack from Perryy. Get him away. He did have Viper looking for a bit of a flank if they were to stick around. Look at mid lane, though. It is an open sieve, and TFBlade is drinking it all up, taking another turret.
Yeah, TFBlade, he's walking his way towards that top side. Just maybe do some damage onto the turret, but hopefully, he's just going to go walk through the jungle, move there with Perryy, just to see if there's anything for them to take away, but otherwise, Conviction still in a very powerful position. They're going to go ahead and start the Otacon.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really that Estral can do in this point. They're going to lose this Otacon. They're going to try to go for a play on bot side, but they weren't really able to find anything there. And that will be the permanent buff going the way of Conviction. Looking good on that grub loss earlier. As we do have Dragon spawning, and Estral started up immediately to put a stop and a damper to the Dragon stacking Conviction had.
We'll say, while this Dragon trade was worth it, Conviction's got to be careful letting go on some of these Mountain Dragons going forward, because every Mountain Dragon they stack actually is very dangerous. When you're considering the defensive stats, people like Summit and SolidSnake are going to be building. But for now, Cody, I think he's going to walk it out.
Okay, he's fine. Luckily, they have a lot of dashes. That's the one thing, everybody but Winsome has some sort of dash. Get away from the engage, and unfortunately there's not many engage tools on the side of Conviction that can just outright get the game or fight started, at least, except for Perryy. And they are going to try to pressure this, but they've left Cody Sun in mid lane. He's going to instantly cap the Jack, but it's not enough. Shutdown goes to Coast. I'm getting a little worried.
That's some much needed gold into Ghost's pocket, and Cody Sun used both his summoner spells too, so he is going to be vulnerable on top of already dying in that sequence. Big overplay punish there by Estral, and yeah, these are the things you got to worry about, Conviction fans. That is the way back into the game for Estral.
Oh, they're completely caught though. Unfortunately, I don't think Ghost is... One of them is not making it out of this, because TFBlade says so. And it looks like it might just be SolidSnake. He's going to have to go through the Vanguard's edge. Pretty tanky. The Redemption saves him. Glacial Fissure connects. They actually don't kill SolidSnake. And now Stunt has taken some extra turret damage. True Shot Barrage just had gotten utilized, but the fact that SolidSnake made it out, that's a little bit of a signifier of things to come.
Yeah, and the sustain is really nice there from the Seraphine, of course. And SolidSnake stacking HP constantly with the Heartsteel in his own right. But for now, still a big lead for Conviction. 5K, not the 7,000 it was before, but you still have the Phantom Dancer built there for Cody Sun. Big breakpoint here for the Jinx. And TFBlade's already well past his third item. A thing to call out too, he has the Wit's End on top of the Merc Treads. It's a good amount of tenacity he's working with. So not only does he have stats, he can take up a lot of...
Cody going for the Glacial Fissure that he stole away from Stunt. So it's going to be a lot of damage onto the two, but that's all that's going to be burned. It's going to be the heal from Stunt himself. And now that we're looking at things, 2 items really coming through. The Cyclo Sword actually there for Viper. But the problem is, at least for Estral, is, you have Ghost who's starting to garner a lot of attention, has 1,000 gold lead over his counterpart here. But the thing that ADCs hate the most, it's top laners. And guess what? There's two of them on Conviction's side.
Yeah.
I think Ghost is going to have a really hard time navigating through some of these fights. And speaking of Conviction, just continue to try to find fight after fight. They're going to get the flash out of Ghost as well, but they're going to try to find Winsome in the end. He isn't going to be able to make it out, but the redemption might save them. TFBlade tries to get the kill, but he can't. TFBlade's about to get shut
They
down.
got him.
That's going to be
That's a
so
big
much
one.
gold
That's
going
so
over
much gold.
1,000 smackaroos to Ghost. And he's eating good. The world champion is set up for success. And Estral are about to seize the lead.
Oh my God.
Right back from Conviction. And just like that, Estral are putting a knife to the throat of Conviction.
This is exactly what we were worried about. Conviction overstepping, giving away so much gold. Another 2,000 shaved away from what was an enormous gold lead by Estral, and it's all on Ghost. Look at the lead he has over Cody Sun now. 2,500 gold. That was a 1K shutdown he just grabbed, and it was right here. It was a nice ult from SolidSnake to slow everyone down, but really TFBlade's going in.
Way too deep, a little bit of full of himself there as well. But the doubles, the gold that's starting to dump into Ghost's pocket. It's so impressive. He's got 2.5 thousand gold up.
Now, things are slowing down just a little bit. We have a minute till this next dragon. Really what the focus is going to be. Actually, this fight is what we're focused.
Summit's trying to get somebody on this side so he can all out. Perry's not confident to go into the fight because he doesn't want to get all outed in the end. Here comes the support play from Estral to support Summit's side of the map and kill Daisy outright.
That's bad. Yeah, that's really bad because we have Dragon coming up in 45 seconds. I don't think Daisy will be back in time. Really hampers Conviction's ability to set up around objectives. So they need to pick if they want this next Dragon. That is going to be a very difficult thing to do because Winsome, that healing, you're really starting to see the effects of the sustain, the healing and the shielding that he's working with.
Yeah, and the Mortal Reminder there completed for Ghost as well, just putting pressure with how much damage he can do and stopping a lot of the healing. This team-centric comp for Estral is really starting to show up, and I'm, again, getting worried for Conviction. Or on that last leg here, you start feeling this slipping feeling when you were up almost 8,000 gold just a little bit ago. And now you have another dragon to fight for, something else to take your attention. And you see that dragon spawning now.
All right, teleport's coming through here. Daisy actually is back, so they should be able to summon that any second now. This dragon's super important. Conviction don't want to let Estral stack mountains. Estral don't want soul points.
That's a lot of damage from Ghost across the bow. Now it's 3,000 down. Perry's in the pit. Who's going to get it?
They got it.
By Perryy. They get the soul point. Now they're going to take the fight after. Vanguard's Edge going to go down, but no, TFBlade just gets completely CC'd 100 to 0.
Wow.
And now Cody is using their tools against them. The Vanguard's Edge has changed edges to Estral. They're going to find a double for Ghost yet again, and they're looking for even more. They get the double CC. They take down Conviction, and that lead that you propped yourself up on, that high horse that you sat so mightily on, is cut down.
The only saving grace is that Conviction. They got that mountain dragon. It is their sole point. They still have the chance for a game-winning buff in 5 minutes, Mazel, but it's looking like their chances are diminishing by the moment. You can see the healing Winsome is able to put out to sustain some of these champions have, and Estral are going to start the Baron.
This Baron might just be one of the nails in the coffin. The CC that you can have with the siege potential that Estral have as a comp. They're not going to go for it. They're going to play extremely reserved. They feel like they don't need to toss the game on a 150-50.
Oh, but maybe Conviction do, because they're going to go ahead and start this one. You can see Estral are also still in the area. Daisy can tank this one really nicely. Cody can auto over the wall. The rest of the team is here. This might actually be a secure for Conviction, at the very least, another 50-50.
Thought Estral didn't want a part of this 50-50, didn't want to toss their game, but if they do die out here, that's a monumental lead for Conviction. Still about 3.5 minutes for that dragon fight that's looming large. I've got to shout out that Ghost, now having 4 items. Serpent Fang also completed, so any of the shielding, any of that coming through is going to be so much harder to come by. And look how much damage he's doing already as well. They get the all-out on the Stunt, and Stunt is gone. That's your front line.
That's right. He's out of the picture. means now that after those recalls, Estral could look to try and start this Baron again. They don't take it very quickly, so it's going to be hard to do in the face of Conviction. So if they do it, it's definitely going to be to turn and fight. But we'll see. They're posturing.
It just feels like all the momentum, all the air has been sucked out of the room for Conviction. They've got to find a way to breathe. They've got to get those chest compressions going back, but they're just going to falter out and go down. Estral, they're going to force the hand. They're going to go straight for the Baron. This could just be a big swinging point in that gold. Will Conviction finally lose their lead? And Estral going to force the issues here. 3,000 down. Vanguard comes through. It's taken by Cody Sun. He steps up the sub, coming in for Conviction. But is it enough? They just delay the inevitable. They will lose Perryy, and Ghost goes godlike on his Ezreal.
Okay, honestly, insanely clutch steal from Cody Sun. I cannot stress that enough. Even losing Perryy for it, worth any day of the week, twice on Sundays. We walk it out and accept that. And now it's going to give Conviction that opportunity to clear waves more easily. Soak up any siege Estral tries to go for, and give themselves a chance to earn some more gold going towards the next dragon, because that's their soul, and it's a dragon they can't afford to lose.
And this is a team, just like we had said earlier, much like the Estral advantage of bringing in a holistically new team, trying to get the big spender, the big guns out. This was Conviction's attempt to make the run. Yes, they're all streamers. Yes, they prioritize that, but they are not going to bow down from competition. They're not going to back down, and I love to see they're still trying to keep their heads above water. You got to remember, this is it for Conviction. If they lose here, all the story, that run in the playoffs, it all comes to an end with nothing to show for it.
That's right. And so much hinges on this dragon in 1 minute's time. You can already see the posturing. The Summit going to take this opportunity to drop a big wave into that top tier 2 turret. Because of it, Conviction going to have to give up the spot they have into the river. Hope they can reclaim it after they push out these waves. Already a TP going in. I think TFBlade's in trouble.
All right, he's going to get the preemptive redemption from Estral, do a little bit of damage ahead of time. Could be locked down. Going to look for the play on a Winsome. Knows he's the target that can be just easy to melt through. They do end up taking him down. Ghost goes legendary yet again. Going to find himself a 10th kill in the game. Meanwhile, it was mid lane. That was the focus from Conviction.
Yeah, they are able to get some space. They still have the Baron buff for 1 more minute, but you can't do this in their face.
Sun's getting caught. He's going to try to go down. No, it's going to be the turnaround play. Look how much damage Cody Sun is doing. Cody trying to tank down. Does use the shield as well. Is not able to get away. The Winter's bite takes him down, and now Cody Sun is excited. He's getting all ramped up and ready to go. It's going to be the flash play from Stunt, locking him down again. The increased distance is not going to be enough on the zap, but it's Conviction now looking with this Baron buff to utilize the last 30 seconds of it to siege and get some gold in their pockets.
I really like this decision. Ignore the dragon for now. You are not going to lose it, but they can drop an inhibitor, maybe even a little bit more. So just taking as much as they can from this Baron buff, so important here. I wonder if they want to push this a little further, but I think that might end up being too dangerous.
TP for it. Okay. That's bold. There's 3 members up. 18 seconds for Cody to come up. TP coming in for Conviction. Maybe a little bit hesitant here, but it's the focus on the turrets, because once they get 1 down, Cody Sun goes excited. Look for more. They get the 1 Nexus turret. You got to remember, that's going to respawn. They realize they're out of time. Summit goes in for the knockback. Gets the Q3, but it's not going to be enough to keep Conviction in the base. That's going to be a little bit of defense from Estral, but it's the dragon that comes up next, and they have to be ready to fight this.
Yeah, the thing is, though, can Conviction actually just burn it immediately? You can see Estral are coming here, but I think they wasted too much time in the base. Stunt, he's going to have to give up his life here if he wants to stall them long enough.
Go over the wall. I don't know if they can do it. Glacier Fish comes through. Dragon secured by Conviction. Now they're going to give Stunt's life for it. I think it's a worthy cause. It takes a long time to take him down, but that's the Mountain Soul completed from Conviction.
Worth 1,000 times worth, Mazel. This is what needed to happen. Conviction took a risk to see if they could end the game. Didn't quite pay off, but they still managed to secure their Mountain Soul. And remember, guys, 2025 means in 3 minutes, that Nexus turret will return.
Going to be a saving grace to Estral, at least, to hold on to here. But now you got to start thinking of those big item objectives, at least on the check mark for Conviction, right? You have about 2 minutes of breathing room till you really want to set up for this Elder Dragon. You have about 2 minutes for that Baron as well. You do wonder which one of these comes to more importance, if they're going to try to burn down this Baron ahead of that Elder Dragon, because it feels like, you know, once we do get this fourth item for Cody Sun, he's going to be extremely strong. But on the other side, Ghost is full build now.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of items too, something Conviction really needs to start thinking about immediately is, one, getting Cody Sun that IE he needs so bad.
Oh, they try to catch down Cody Sun. I don't know if they have enough damage here. Nobody was here to follow up. Ghost is just trying to pop shots, but he's not doing much. Two top around comes across Cody, looking for the Vanguard dead. They take down Stunt. No, they don't get him in the end. Summit tries to step up, but look at all the shielding coming through. If only Ghost could hit him. He steps forward. He might just die. No, he doesn't go down in the end. Now Viper has found the flank. Viper, maybe the saving grace. He's been changed. He's been moved. He takes one down, gets the reset on the World Ender. It's all about the resets, and it's Viper booking the ticket for Conviction, and they take Estral down a peg. It looks like they might be able to go for the end, and after all that drama, it still ends up in 5 games.
And look at the relief on the players of Conviction. They know they just narrowly got themselves another chance in this series, but the next game is going to decide it all, Mazel. Who's going home and who is going to the tournament?
Are you not entertained? The first series of the promotion tournament, the do or die best of 5, goes the distance between Conviction and Estral.
And wow, I was getting really nervous there for a moment for Conviction, but they managed to clutch it out big time. Again, you got to give the shout out to Viper for that flank angle on the Aatrox. He had a lot of value that game on the pick. They managed to keep their lead long enough to make it so that Seraphine didn't automatically win the game for Estral.
The fact that it was close, though, had us sweating. The fact that Estral were so close to turning that back around off some key overextensions from the side of Conviction. Now it's all do or die for game number 5 between these two teams. I'm going to expect that Estral is going to be back on the red side with that counter pick, and I'm really wondering what Conviction is going to have left here for us, and see if they get any of those comfort picks in a fearless game 5.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, we always praise Conviction for that creativity, especially in the situation where they're playing with a sub. Their roles are a little mixed up at the moment, and they're still able to pull out all the stops and take us to this game 5. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they pull out.
We'll see exactly how that all works out. We'll also break down that game number 4 after this short break.